Hi guys, welcome to Cookin' Little. My name's Rachel and today I'm going to be making a delicious carrot cake from scratch. I've left the list of ingredients along with the measurements for this mini cake in the description so you can follow along with me if you'd like. To measure out your mini ingredients, you're going to need a 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, and you're also going to need a set of the small mini measuring spoons that include the 1/4 teaspoon, the 1/8 teaspoon, and the drop size 1/64 teaspoon. And I'm going to go ahead and miniaturize this set so I can use them in my dollhouse. There we go, that's a little bit better. I'm going to be using 2 1-inch cake pans lined with some parchment paper. If you don't have cake pans this size, you can make your cake a little larger using one of these tea candle holders, and I'm going to triple the recipe for you and leave the measurements for that in the description, along with a link to where you can find these cake pans. For the ingredients for the cake, you will need 1 teaspoon of whole wheat flour, 1/8 teaspoon of white sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of brown sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of melted butter or oil. I'll be measuring out 1/2 drop of salt, 1 drop of vanilla, 1 drop of baking soda, 1 drop of cinnamon, and 1/8 teaspoon of beaten egg. You will also need 1 pecan or walnut half, 1 carrot stick about 1 inch in length, 1 pineapple tidbit, and 1 raisin. Before I get started on my cake, I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven. If you don't have a mini oven, that's okay. You'll want to set your regular oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The first thing that we'll be doing is grating our carrot. And we want 1/4 teaspoon of grated carrots, and that looks about right. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that out. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to be adding the brown sugar to the carrots. And you're going to want to mix the carrots and the brown sugar together. And we're just going to set this aside for 10 to 20 minutes. Now I'm just going to take my raisin and cut it into a bunch of little pieces, pretty much just smushing it all together. And just set the raisins aside for a few minutes. Next, we'll need to cut up the walnut. It's a pecan, actually. I want these as small as you possibly can get them. So I'm just going to cut them really small, maybe like go over and crush them a little bit. That should be enough. I'll leave this piece off and I'll continue to crush it a little bit once it's in the bowl. And for the pecans, we're going to be using the 1/8 measuring spoon, so I don't need too much. I'm going to go ahead and stop there and crush a little bit more. Try to break them up a little bit more in the bowl. And that looks pretty good. And next I'm going to be cutting up the pineapple. And I'm just going to crush them up, and also just to make sure they're tiny. Now I'm just going to add the raisins to the carrot mixture. Well, it's looking pretty good. I'll set that aside again for a few more minutes. Next, in a large bowl, add 1 teaspoon of flour, 1/2 drop of salt, 1 drop of baking soda, 1 drop of cinnamon, and just whisk that all together and mix it up. In another large bowl, add your egg, and whisk that up just a little bit. Now add your white sugar, 1 drop of vanilla, which I'm just going to shake in there. You can use the drop measuring spoon to be precise, because I did measure that out. And 1/8 teaspoon of butter. Next, I'm going to add the pineapple to the butter mixture. And then the flour. And just mix that up until it's all been absorbed. Now I'm going to add the carrots and raisins. And 1/8 teaspoon of the crushed pecans. Now I'm just going to put it in the cake pans. This is a thick batter, so you're going to need to help it in there a little bit. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a toothpick and press down into the edges and the corners and make sure there's no pockets of air. And into the oven they go. You can cook your cakes in a 300-degree oven for 7 minutes. And the way I check them is I just touch the tops a little bit, and if they're not sticky and they feel a little firm, that's when you'll know they're done. I think these are done, so I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the oven now. And they're kind of stuck together, so I'll take them out at the same time. And I'm just going to set them aside and let them cool while I make the frosting. For the frosting, you will need 3 teaspoons of powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons of softened cream cheese, 1/4 teaspoon of melted butter, and a drop of vanilla. To decorate your cake, you will need 1 small piece of graham cracker and green and orange food dye. First, just add the cream cheese to the bowl. That's nice and soft. Now I'm going to add the powdered sugar. It's about 3 teaspoons of powdered sugar, and that's about half of this bag. I'm going to just go ahead and eye it a little bit as well. Go ahead and add the butter and vanilla. And then just mix that all together until it's a nice creamy frosting. I'm just going to take a little bit out and put it in these bowls so I can dye them for the decorations. So I got some green food coloring and orange. And I'll go ahead and just use my little cake spatula to mix those. And this is going to go into some tiny little piping bags that are actually way too big for this amount of icing. So I'll cut these down a little bit. And next I'm going to crush this graham cracker and make some little crumbs to decorate the sides of the cake. And now I'm going to take the cakes out. Actually put some icing on the bottom because these little mini cakes have no weight to them. And then I'm just going to frost the rest of the cake all around. And now that I've got it frosted, I'm going to add some crumbs to the side for decoration. And I've picked this cute little green plate for the cake, so I'm going to go ahead and transfer that. Now I'm going to attempt to create a few carrots going around the edge of the cake. Starting in the center, just make them a little bigger as you go. I will fix that one once I get back to it. And I'm just going around to each of these carrots and making this end bigger with a toothpick, just spreading it out a little bit to make it look more like a carrot. And now I'm just going to add some green. And there's the mini carrot cake all finished. And now it's time to cut the cake. Oh, it's a little difficult to cut. Let's see if I can get a nice piece here for the plate. There we go, not too bad. I really like coffee with carrot cake, so I went ahead and made some coffee. And the challenge is pouring it into these little cups without overflowing them. It comes out fast, and it doesn't take much to fill one up. That was my second try, by the way. Alright, same thing with the milk. Let's add a little bit of cream. One little drop should do it. There. And some sugar. You gotta have sugar if you're making coffee in a dollhouse. And let's see if I can get a bite of this cake. I'll grab a piece right here with the frosting. Okay, I'm gonna try it. It's very good, you guys. Lots of flavor in that small little bite. That's kind of what I was going for with this cake. But it is funny with these little food items because it seems like as soon as you start to taste it, it's gone. It's like dissolves in your mouth and there is no more. I'm going to try some coffee because I could go for coffee in real life. Very good. But I might need a little bit more of that. That was very good. But I'm going to go share the rest of this cake with the little one that you probably hear in the background right now. We like to eat all the mini things together. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye-bye. Have a good day.